Good morning, everybody. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. And as a prep for next week, I just wanted to record this small video to understand the different paths that we are looking at going into the next week, and kind of help you prepare for your trading plan. Right. So last week we talked about a higher retracement for this whole drop, and with NFP data on Friday, that's what happened, right? I talked about that we did not yet reach the 61% with the previous up move that we had, and I was looking at if the NFP comes in softer, then we are looking at the test of like 5140, 5146. Above that, probably 5165. 5165, 5170 zone, and above that we certainly can get up to closing this gap of 5188 and 5195 around that area, right? So we talked about few levels that we can see on the upside. The session was contained below 5140 after the first test in the morning. Now we have this structure out here, and there are two things which I want to compare. One, how is it looking on the US 500, and how is it looking in the SPX chart, right? And tell you what is my opinion. So now when we look at the daily chart, this is where our support broke last time, which was 5146, 5145, right? And we had this as a supply zone formation after this big sell-off that happened. Right now, we are just about getting in, testing that supply zone for the first time, right? So I think we should start the week with a little weakness from that perspective. That once we're in the supply zone, we should see some rejection. If I look at the smaller time frame chart, on Friday was SPX was feeling very reluctant to go up and break the morning highs and then start climbing up. It was a very choppy session, so I took some puts at least to start the position. And my idea here is that getting into the next week, at least we should have a softer Monday. Or Monday or Tuesday, and this demand zone which was formed, you know, during FOMC and before NFP and Apple earnings, I think this at least needs to be tested once, right? So I want this test to happen as a first thing, which is about almost 60, 70 points. Can happen in a day or two. Like I said, Monday or Tuesday, some weakness can develop. And if, we cannot take the zone out, which is this particular demand zone here, right? Somewhere around 5060, right? Come a little deeper, maybe. Yeah, but this area, right? If we are not able to get below this, then we are looking at one more move going up to test this further, right? And probably close this gap even, which exists up here, right? So this is kind of my thinking right now. I'm not going extremely bullish that hey, we are gonna start making new highs and all that, but I think from just an ABC move perspective, this probably makes most sense. ABC, and why I'm making it ABC, because my first three moves were here ABC as well, right? These were three wave moves. So we had an ABC, probably A, B, C again inside, and now we are looking at another one, and this bear flag will continue to extend, something like this, right? And after this, we potentially can look into a big sell-off coming here. Right, that was our yellow path, which I shared on Twitter last week and in the Substack as well. So this is gonna be our primary consideration getting into next week, right? And now when we look into it from US 500 perspective, like I showed you that the first three moves were, sorry, in the SPX, the first move was a three-wave move. When I say a three-wave move, we are looking at this as a three-wave move, right? And now going back to US 500, again, a retracement of the previous move, getting into the supply zone ahead here, right? And what we are looking at is that this was potentially a five-wave move here, as in a leading diagonal, probably, right? One, two, three, four, five, and similar way. I mean, if this was a first move A here, and then a B drop happened here, right? Now we are looking at a C move going up, right? Now we are looking at a C move going up. You know, probably we are gonna see, let's say this was the first move, we're gonna see, and again coming down to that 5160 range here somewhere, then making a move up, down, and getting somewhere here, right? So this is something which I would expect happening here on US 500 as well. So this would be, like I said, my primary thoughts and primary area where I can think this can track to. And yeah, maybe once this is done later in the week, maybe the whole week goes into this, then probably we can see a drop building up. And I think that's going to be somewhere getting closer to the CPI data, maybe, right? So that's where I think if sell has to happen, probably we'll start building the structure around that time, right? Now, can this be very bullish? Now, I mean, if I consider this as a five-way move, as an alternate scenario, not of course the bearish scenario. Bearish scenario, we are looking at the test of lower 4800s. But what if this was the wave one move like this, and this was a drop, and now we are heading higher? I mean, again, the strength wasn't there on Friday to really say, if that's building up. But are we looking at something like this? I'm not considering this path right now, but we'll certainly keep in the back of our mind if this does not slow down near 5195, 5185, 5200 area. Yeah, then certainly, we are looking at new all-time highs. But like I said, my primary scenario remains this. Yeah, where we go and test the supply zone, spend some time next week in a semi-bullish kind of a way. We drop and then we go up, and then the sell-off starts happening. Probably a week later, or maybe end of the week next week, right? So this would still stay my primary case, and if there would be some changes, I'll be updating you as usual. So, yeah, that's about it. And I hope it helps understand what I'm really looking at. Just before I end this video, I just want to make sure here that, here I talked about the drop coming here at around the 50-60 area. So that is, we just want to call it as, yeah, that you can remain bull above. And if this does not hold, let's say early in the week itself, then bears needs to certainly break this area, right? So this will be bear below area that we actually make a new low here, and then we can say, okay, the next move down has started. So that will be my bear below, right? Just of course I will document this in Substack. But just wanted for you to be aware that these are the levels that I'm looking at. That as long as 50-50 is holding, we'll should stay bullish for the week. And if the sell-off brings us below 5,000 or 5,008-9, right? Then we can start looking at that. Okay, a new wave is in the formation, and we are going towards 4,800, right? So then any bounce can be, a potential for a short, right? Okay, cool. Hope this helps. Thank you. Have a good one.